right, good afternoon to you, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don with you and Dr. Don's weather page. Severe weather coverage on your Thursday afternoon, April 23rd. We're coming up on 4:22 Central Time, 5:22 Eastern, and what has already been an extremely busy Thursday afternoon, not necessarily for East Alabama, but for South Georgia, as we have had a long track tornado on the ground for a long way across South Georgia. Thankfully, we're not hearing of any injuries or fatalities, but there is a fair amount of damage across southern parts of Georgia and on over into the Atlantic Coast area, up into just north of Brunswick, and then out over Sapelo Island and into the Atlantic Ocean. But now we have a severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued for East Alabama. And I want to show that to you, and then we're going to show you the radar. This severe thunderstorm watch is in effect now for East Alabama, and it is, so I'll just read you the text of the watch from the Storm Prediction Center. Severe thunderstorm watch for portions of central Alabama and back into eastern Mississippi, effective this Thursday afternoon and evening from 5:05 p.m. until 10 p.m. tonight. That was 4:05 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern. That would be 9 p.m. Central this evening. Primary threats include scattered large hail likely with isolated very large hail events. Up to 2 inches in diameter will be possible. An isolated damaging winds of gust of up to 70 miles per hour, and a tornado or two is not completely out of the question. But this will be more of a severe thunderstorm threat, and primarily for the large hail that these storms will be capable of producing this afternoon. We have a very large cold pool of air moving across Alabama now just in advance of that cold front. So that's allowing these hailstones to get really big. Scattered thunderstorms capable of large hail, damaging wind, and a tornado or two will continue through central Alabama and into East Alabama throughout the remainder of the evening. The severe thunderstorm watch area is approximately along and 45 statute miles north and south of a line from 35 miles southeast of Anniston, Alabama to 45 miles south of Meridian, Mississippi. And so that's the text of this watch that has been issued. And we also have several severe thunderstorms out there right now. And so we have a warning now for northern Chilton County and central Alabama. That warning is in effect until 5 p.m., so about another 35 minutes for Chilton County. A severe thunderstorm located over Talladega National Forest, or 8 miles southeast of Centerville, moving off to the east at around 50 miles per hour. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for Perry County in central Alabama, southeast Hale County, and west central Alabama until 5:15. We have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Marengo County, northern Marengo County, and south central Sumter County. That is in effect until 4:30, so that's out for only another 5 minutes or so. And then we have a thunderstorm warning over on the Mississippi-Alabama state line that's in effect until 5 o'clock. And this is going to be for Choctaw County in southwest Alabama. And then you look down there in Mississippi, and there's yet another one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 active severe thunderstorm warnings on the screen right now. So let's turn the velocity product back on. And it may take just a few moments for that to load. And I'll tell you that we've been watching these storms back over in Mississippi, and they didn't look very impressive until about 20 minutes ago. We started seeing those very large hail cores populate with these storms, and so that's the reason that we've got the watch from the National Weather Service. All right, so just bear with me just for a second while I get this there it goes. All right, so now you can see kind of what's going on. Let me zoom out and give you the whole wide shot, and then we'll go back in and take a look at the individual counties that are affected here. And as you can see, we just got a mess out there this afternoon. Look over here off the coast of Georgia. That's that line that came through South Georgia. And, I mean, we had a long track tornado that traversed nearly the entire southern half of the state of Georgia this afternoon. Lots of tree damage, lots of roofs damaged from trees that fell. There was some structure damage from the tornado itself, but a tremendous amount of tree damage down there in South Georgia this afternoon. Pretty nasty up there around Savannah as well. And then let's go back down here to Northwest Florida, because we've had multiple tornado warnings down there this afternoon. Right now it looks like we have just one tornado warning, and that's going to be down there near Panama City. So that is a tornado warning for Panama City. If you've got anybody down there, you might want to call them and make sure they know what's going on. This is a tornado warning for Northwest Gulf County, Southern Bay, and Southwest Calhoun counties in the Panhandle of Florida. And that will expire in just a couple of minutes. So we'll see if they're going to extend that tornado warning down there. But if you're in the Panama City area, you've got a very nasty line of storms coming through there. Now, you folks over in Mexico Beach, get ready, because you are next in line for that. So let's zoom back out and let's go back up now to East Alabama. And I can tell you that we do have some heavy storms now in Chambers County. They're not severe, but we do have one area of activity stretching from near LaGrange back over into Chambers County, back down into central Tallapoosa and into extreme southeastern Coosa, and then it trails back off to just north of Wetumpka, and that's lifting off to the, I believe we're going to have a little bit of a northern motion on that one. Yeah, it's still a northeast motion, but you'll notice right there at the last tip of that last loop, there was a little bit of a jog to the north. So this stuff down here in Elmore County will come on up into Tallapoosa County, and then most likely up into Randolph County. And then the stuff you see down here by Montgomery is going to rotate up into southern Tallapoosa, into western Lee, and then up into Chambers, and then all of this down here in Tuskegee is coming directly up into Lee County as well. And then, of course, all of our West Georgia counties will eventually get that also. But the main reason we're here, and of course, any of those storms could go severe at any moment, but the main reason we are here and what has prompted the severe thunderstorm watch is going to be this stuff over here in west and central Alabama. And there's Clanton. Let's just go in tight there, and then we'll go down the line. And you can see that that storm is going to move right on over into Coosa County and probably catch the extreme southeastern tip of Tallapoosa and end up over in Clay County. And when it comes back, I'll show you the hail core. That coffee's good. So you see right here, we have a pretty good size hail core. And so here are the times on this. We're talking about Wetumpka in about 23 minutes, Stewartville in 30 minutes, Hanover in about 32 minutes, Mount Olive in 39, Goodwater about 45 minutes, Kellyton 46, Pinckneyville about 53, and Hackneyville about 54 minutes. Let me put the track back on, and let me take it out just a little bit further so you can see on the map. It looks like this is going to rotate just north of Alexander City. Guess what happened just north of Alexander City on Sunday? They had that crazy hail storm, and you may be about to have another one. So if you're up there in northeastern Tallapoosa County or anywhere across northern Coosa County, you need to protect those automobiles if you can. Just go ahead and throw a blanket over them, or put them inside of a garage, or do whatever you got to do to protect your automobile, because this hail is certainly large enough to cause some problems to your automobiles. And so let me go over here and okay. All right, so that is your Chilton County storm, which they just updated. Let's get the updated text on that one. This is going to be at 3:53. Oh, I'm sorry. That one is not updated. That was not the right text. So let me take that off, and we'll go down here to this other storm. We'll come back to Chilton County in just a few minutes because that's the first severe storm that's going to affect East Alabama. This is your Perry and southeastern Hale County storm, and this one's in effect until 5:15. And you can see right there that we have two areas of hail, and that's up there just to the northeast and south of Greensboro. So go back out like that, and you see what's going on. So all of this stuff is moving up in the general direction of East Alabama and West Central Georgia. The good news is we have no tornado warnings. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. But folks, let me caution you again. It's just always been that we look at a tornado warning a little more serious than a severe thunderstorm warning. And in an environment like we have today with this particular type setup, that's not necessarily the safest way to look at it. I would treat a severe thunderstorm warning just as significant as a tornado warning in this particular type event. Sorry about that. I had too many radios going in the background. I couldn't concentrate on what I was trying to tell you guys. But what I'm trying to say is if you go under a severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon, treat it with respect and go ahead and go to your safe place just to be on the safe side, because these hails, just like we had last Sunday in Tallapoosa County, when these hailstones get so big and they all come crashing to the ground at the same time, all that air that's up under that hailstorm or that thunder cloud has got to go somewhere. So you can get 60, 70, 80, and sometimes 90 mile per hour straight line winds just because of the sudden release of all of that hail and rain from that cloud. And of course, that kind of wind can cause just as much damage as a small tornado. So if you're in a mobile home, if you're anywhere in East Alabama or West Georgia in a mobile home, if you've got a neighbor across the street that's got a house or somewhere you can get to fairly quick, I would go ahead and do that. And then if a warning is issued and you live in a home or if you're at your place of business, then go to your safe place, which I hope you have already identified. And so we're going to watch this together as we go throughout the next 30 or 40 minutes or so. And I just got an update on that Coosa County storm. Let's see what it says. And then I'm going to be going to the chat board in just a few minutes to see if you guys have any questions. So if you do, now's a good time to post them. Significant weather advisory is now being issued for southeastern Shelby and Coosa counties until 5:15. At 4:34, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Lay Lake Dam, or 10 miles northeast of Clanton, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. Nickel-size hail and winds in excess of 40 miles per hour will be possible with this storm. That's for Coosa County, and that's going to be right up here in the corner of Coosa County. And then we got that severe thunderstorm warning there as well. We're waiting to see if they're going to extend that severe thunderstorm warning over into Coosa County. Right now, not sure they're going to, because it doesn't look quite as strong as it did just a few moments ago, but we'll just wait on them to give it to us. And you see just tons of rain down there south of I-85 from the Auburn-Opelika area down to Union Springs, Eufaula, Columbus. You get down here in southeast Alabama, lots of rain down there. Severe thunderstorm warning now in Georgia for Colquitt and back over to Blakely over in Miller County. Then down into Bainbridge, severe thunderstorm warnings down into Florida as well. And then you get over here and you just tons of rain down there in Georgia too. Not a good afternoon across South Georgia by no means. All right, so going up here to the chat board, let's see what's going on. Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for joining us in Dr. Don's weather page. Let me scroll back up to the top. We'll just come down And see what's happening. Welch, Alabama's in the house. Thank you, Joe. Terry is watching us in Lynette this afternoon. Blake is in Valley. Kay is in Auburn. And Kay, if it's not raining where you are in Auburn, it will be shortly. And it's going to be a good bit of it. Karen is asking about Bowden, Georgia. Bowden's in West Georgia. And this line of thunderstorms is coming across central Alabama, will come through east Alabama and right on into Bowden, Georgia. There's no way I can tell you exactly what it's going to be doing when it gets there, but right now we do have several severe thunderstorms moving in that general direction. Chance is watching us in Wadley. Good afternoon, Chance. Teresa's got us going on in Wedowee. Donald is watching us in Alexander City. Kelly's watching us in Roanoke. Jimmy, good afternoon to you. Kathy is watching us in Napoleon. Good afternoon, Joanne. Virginia is in Ashland, Alabama. Freddie's watching us over in Rock Mills. Peggy's got us going on. Good afternoon, Leanne in Lynette. Let's see what else we got here. Chambers County, you're in East Alabama. You got a line of severe thunderstorms coming your way. Martha, good afternoon to you. Let's see here. LaGrange, we don't hope we get the tornado that Moultrie got today. You won't get that tornado because that tornado's out in the Atlantic Ocean going yonder way. And I can't tell you for certain that we won't see any tornadic thunderstorms across East Alabama or West Georgia. But the atmosphere is much more conducive in South Georgia for that than it is in East Alabama and West Georgia. The warm front just didn't make it quite as far north as they thought it was going to, or it didn't make it quite as far north as it could have. Let's put it that way, because they've been guiding us all day saying they really didn't know exactly how far north it was going to go. So what I'm trying to say is the air down there in South Georgia, South Alabama, Northwest Florida is much more tropical than what we have here across East Alabama and West Georgia. The problem that we've got is that the cold pool of air that's coming across Alabama in advance of the cold front is so much colder than it is at the surface. So there is still a huge difference in temperature aloft versus the ground. So we're getting some instability, and those big, huge hailstones is going to be the problem. That's why we went under a severe thunderstorm watch for the most part. Though a tornado or two cannot be completely ruled out. Fran's got us going on in Folsom. Bobby Smith, good to see you in there. Let's see here. Alexander City, thank you, Patsy. Ricky's got us going on in Graham, Alabama. Let's see here. Somebody says they don't hear nothing. I think I'm getting out okay. All indications are that the audio is good. Got very lucky in Bremen, Mount Zion area. Prayers, all those impacted by the storms. Yep, absolutely. Matt, thank you for that. Tammy Camp watching from Roanoke. Patsy Kitchens is watching. Go to YouTube and search Don Strength, Heather. Just I've got to get the Dr. Don piece put in there, and I just hadn't had a chance to do it. Just search for Don Strength. You ought to be able to find it because it shows that I'm going over there. Yeah, Ricky says he's ready for some hot summer days and hang out by his pond or his pasture. I hear you. Alexander City, Sharon, thank you. Heather replying to Heather Jordan. Oh, okay, she just found it. Let's see here. I'm just going to go on and scroll on down right quick and see if there's anybody with any weather questions or anything to report. Pouring with gusty winds in LaGrange, Georgia. Yes, it is. You got a pretty good little cell sitting right on top of you, though it's not severe right now. Wadley's got us going on. Roanoke, Graham. Let's see here. Kenny's asking the question, tornado with a question mark. The tornado threat is less across East Alabama and West Georgia than it was today or still is today in South Georgia and South Alabama and Northwest Florida. But it is not zero across East Alabama and West Georgia. So we got to keep that in mind. Yes, there is the possibility we could see a tornado or two. But the biggest threat from these storms that we have coming into East Alabama will be hail. And if you'll look over there at the radar, you'll see what I'm talking about. Very little purples and pinks in that stuff around Columbus and down to Eufaula and Americus. But look back over to the west from I-65 all the way back into Mississippi. It's not a very large area of thunderstorms, but you see a lot of pink and blues in there, and that is most likely hail. And so that's why we're under a severe thunderstorm watch for the most part. Though straight line winds and a tornado or two cannot be ruled out. Deborah, there's a little speaker icon in the lower right-hand corner of the video frame there. If you'll tap that and make sure your volume's turned up, you should be okay. Yeah, or exit and come back in. That will fix it a lot of times. Annette, we're on the air because we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect now for all of East Alabama and West Georgia. And we have a couple of severe thunderstorms off to the west that are coming in the general direction of East Alabama. So that's why we're live. Same for you, Wedowee. You got a line of severe thunderstorms off to your west coming in your general direction. Same thing for Roxanne. Hello, Hughley. Nice to have you with us. Pine Hill. Is it going to stay south of Wedowee? Probably not, because the whole system is moving northeast. So it's probably going to make it over Wedowee as well. Same with Valley. Okay, and I'd like to welcome our 90.9 FM listeners in God's country over in Clay County, Talladega County, down in Tallapoosa and Coosa County. We appreciate you folks, and welcome to Dr. Don's Weather Page, our live coverage this afternoon. And again, I want to just tell you that the main reason we are here is because of a severe thunderstorm watch that was issued by the National Weather Service probably about 45 minutes ago now. And the main reason they've issued the severe thunderstorm watch, the main threat, let me put it that way, is because of large hail. The secondary threat will be damaging straight line winds. And the third threat is that there could possibly be a tornado or two with this line of thunderstorms. It's not very large. It's not very wide. It's rather narrow. The good news is we have not seen any tornado warnings. As a matter of fact, we just lost the severe thunderstorm warning that Chilton County was under. It appears that the Weather Service is not going to extend that severe thunderstorm warning over into Coosa County. So that's good news. It means the storm is not quite as strong as it was a few moments ago. So right now we only have we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in West Alabama. I'm just zooming out to look around the rest of the state. We have a flash flood warning down there around Dothan. So as it stands right this moment, the only warnings we have are those 3 severe thunderstorm warnings over in West Alabama, and that would be Hale County. They just canceled that one. So that will drop off in just a few moments. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Choctaw County, and that will expire in 14 minutes. And then a new one down there in extreme southwest Alabama. That is for Washington County. And that will go also to 5 p.m. So this line of storms not severe. At least the northern part of it's not severe right now, though we still have some indications of hail in there. This is just that the size has dropped below severe limits, so they've let that severe thunderstorm warning drop on that north end that's moving into western Coosa County. And then we have no tornado warnings in Florida at the moment. We do have a large area from Apalachicola all the way back up to the Georgia state line that's under a severe thunderstorm warning, but no tornado warnings in South Georgia anymore either. We did have a long track tornado that touched down in South Georgia between Albany and Douglas, right there just to the west of I-75, and stayed on the ground all the way to the Atlantic coast. I hadn't run the map on that to see just how far that is, but that's at least 3/4 of the width of the state of Georgia. We had a tornado. Now, I don't think it was on the ground the entire time, but the parent storm continued to drop a tornado on that entire track all the way across South Georgia this afternoon. Now, we do have some heavy storms popping up there north of Atlanta, back up in my part of the country, up in northeast Georgia as well. A few showers up in northwest Georgia, where the cleanup continues from the tornadoes a couple of days ago, and then a few showers up there in Tennessee as well. So, right this moment, we have nothing going on in East Alabama severe weather-wise. We do have very heavy rain showers occurring now in Tallapoosa County, and that would be from up there north of Dadeville back down to the southwest portion of Tallapoosa County on down to Equality, just to the west of Eclectic, just north of Wetumpka and near Titus down in Elmore County. And then when we go a little further to the west from Sylacauga down to about Clanton, then stretching on down into right along just into northern Autauga County down there in central Alabama. We do have several areas showing hail cores down there this afternoon. So what we're going to do now is, since we don't have any warnings, I'm going to step aside and I'll leave the feed up, and we'll watch this for a few minutes to see if the storm is going to re-intensify. Some of the models last night were indicating that these storms would pulsate. They'd be strong, and then they would die down, and then they would ramp back up. And so we'll wait and see. As you see, we just lost that second severe thunderstorm warning there. So right now we only have one county in Alabama under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is way over there on the Alabama-Mississippi state line. So that's going to do it for this update. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 9 o'clock Central tonight for all of East Alabama. West Georgia's not in it just yet. We'll see if they will extend that over a little bit later on. But for now, no severe weather. Yes, heavy thunderstorms. Probably going to see a good bit of lightning, and you're going to have some gusty winds, and there could be some hail involved in it. But unless we get a warning back, that'll do it for this coverage. But I'll be right back if they do pull the trigger on more warnings right here on Dr. Don's Weather Page. Thanks for joining us. Well, good afternoon, folks. Dr. Don back in here with you for another quick update as you're watching live severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's weather page. And we're just going to kind of leave the feed up for a few more minutes and kind of see what this line of thunderstorms does. I can tell you that it has weakened some in just the last 15 or 20 minutes. And right now we've got a hail core in northern Coosa County. It's going to be just south of Sylacauga. Just north of the Weguffka area, between Weguffka and Goodwater. Well, actually between Weguffka and Stewartville. Maybe just a little bit north of Hanover, and it is moving to the east. Let's see if we can get the loop going here, and I'll show you where it's going to go. And you can see when it comes in, it's moving a little bit north of due east. So right there between Sweetwater and Weguffka. And that's probably got some pretty good sized hail in it right there. So be careful if you're in the path of this storm. Get over here around Goodwater. I'd be paying very close attention to that. Now, a little bit of it may come right over Hanover, and Stewartville may get a little bit of it as well. I think it's going to end up in southern Clay County if it continues on the same path that it's going now. So you folks up here in southern Clay, if you have a way of protecting your automobile, probably be a good idea to do that. Let's see here. Just check a couple of things right quick because I'm getting some damage reports that are coming in. So right now, most of Randolph County, you're fine. Carroll County, over into Heard County. Most of Clay County is fine, except down there in the extreme southwest corner of Clay County, where that extreme northern end of that line is just now coming up into extreme southwestern Clay. The hail core is still back down in Coosa County. But if it continues on that same track, it will get up into southern Clay County, right there where Coosa, Clay, and Tallapoosa all come together. Very heavy rainfall over here in northern Chambers County, just north of Lafayette, up there around 5 points. And there could be some small hail in this storm as well. They're just to the northeast of Buffalo, between Buffalo and Fredonia. But that's some really heavy rainfall right there on 431. Not a good afternoon to be driving on 431. That stretches all the way back over into Troup County. They're just north of Holiday Park and right there at Abbott's Ford, all the way up to Standing Rock. And then the heavy rain stretches back over to Doublehead, just barely getting up into Randolph County, back over to Milltown, down to Markouth, and just north of Lafayette. Also some heavy rain on 280 there between Dadeville and Alexander City. And then back down around Equality and Eclectic, some heavy rain. Let's check on our folks down in the Auburn-Opelika area. Lee County looking pretty good. Some heavy rain there just to the east of Beauregard. Moderate rain coming to an end in Auburn right now, just some light rain. But that's not the end of the show. I'll zoom out and show you that we've still got this entire line that is going to be moving to the east. So most definitely southern Clay, southern Randolph, all of Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, and Elmore, and eventually Autauga County, and even down into the Selma area, Dallas County, Lowndes County, Montgomery County. All of y'all will deal with this line of storms before the afternoon is over with. But right now, nothing severe for East Alabama or West Georgia. A question was asked earlier, what is the red outline? That red outline that you see there is the severe thunderstorm watch. It's in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. And I'll take the reflectivity off, and you'll be able to see that that's a storm track marker that's stuck on the Okay. Birmingham right. And you can see it a little bit better. Great, so. All right, that storm cell is moving like so. So we're looking at basically Goodwater now, Fieldy Crossroads in about 33 minutes, Corinth and Clay County in about 36 minutes, Flat Rock Park in about 43, R.L. Harris Reservoir about 43 minutes, Lake Wedowee about 44, Wedowee in about 55 minutes, and Ava in about 57 minutes if this storm continues in this general direction. I think it's actually probably moving a little bit south. How that is depicted there. And it's not as strong. You notice that we lost some of the hail signatures on the last update. I think we're probably looking at something more like so. And so that would get Roanoke and Dickard and Abanda, High Shoals and Big Springs, and maybe just south of Wedowee, the upper tip of it. I'm talking about the heaviest part of the storm would move in this general area. Southern Union about 33 minutes, Dickard in about 41 minutes, Roanoke in about 50 minutes. Not a real fast-moving storm. And again, that red flashing area and the red outline, that is the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. Waco, Georgia. What about Waco, Georgia? What's happening in Waco, Georgia, Susan? Right now looks like most of this is going to stay south of you if it holds together into Georgia. We'll have to see. It's not severe anyway. Right now, it is not severe. The only hail marker we're getting is way back over there around Clanton, and that's only a 10% chance of hail right there. So certainly in the last 20 minutes, we've really lost most of the hail indications with these storms, and that's the main reason the severe thunderstorm watch was issued. Well, Sharon, it's not going to miss Alexander City. It's got to come through Alexander City because of the motion. Now, it may not be as strong when it comes through Alexander City as it was a few moments ago, but it's got to come through Alexander City. There's no way around it. There's Alexander City right there. As a matter of fact, it should be raining in Alexander City now. And then here's the line stretching from Goodwater all the way back down to Clanton, and the line is moving east-northeast, so there's no way it can miss Alexander City. Beauregard, Alabama. Thanks for watching us, Heather. Mountain City Community. I got to put that on the map. I'm sorry. I was supposed to do that last week, and I got busy and just forgot to do it. Mountain Community. Let me make myself a note. I will get that on the map. That's something I told you guys about last time we were together. If you have a spot in the road, or a community, or a landmark that everybody uses to identify a particular spot in your county, send me a message with the name of that landmark, crossroads, or community. And if you can, send me the coordinates for that location, such as the latitude and longitude, unless you think I can Google it and find it. Send me that information, and I'll put it on the map. I mean, look at here. Whoop, too far. We got Frog Eye, Alabama on the map. Look at there. Right down there at Miss Mary's house. We got to keep up with them frogs. I'll put your community on here too. All you got to do is send it to me. Going to take that severe thunderstorm watch off because that makes it look a whole lot worse than it really is, and I don't want to give anybody false impressions here. Though we can't completely let our guard down. This is, if we got to have the threat of severe weather, this is the good kind to have. Right now, we just don't have that much going on, and we hope it stays that way. And the trend is that it will stay that way. But we got to keep an eye on this for a little while longer just to make sure, because these storms can intensify and then weaken and then ramp back up. So, got to watch them. And again, if you'd like to support what we're doing, then all you got to do is go to paypal.me/Dr. Don WX and help us out if you wish. We certainly do appreciate that. We appreciate all the support you guys give us. I mean, some folks send us coffee, and we like that too because I'm drinking some of it right now. It will amp you up, I'll tell you that much. I stepped outside just a few moments ago because it's raining here, and it was just a beautiful, nice, quiet rain. I've been drinking the coffee, and one of my coworkers called me on the radio, and I had turned it up real loud so I could hear it, and I almost jumped completely off the front porch. And I was a little antsy anyway, and then when he called me on the radio, it just scared me half to death. Also, paypal.me/Dr. Don is the PayPal account. Then you can also, if you use the Cash App, the Cash App tag is $Dr. Don WX. If that will help you out, if you want to help us out, we certainly do appreciate it. No, Kay, I've got yours. I just forgot to put it in. So I've got Mountain Community. I'll get that done here in just a few minutes, I promise. Also, while we're talking about it, and while we're just kind of hanging out, watching to see it, raining in Wadley now, and back over toward Roanoke. And while we're watching this, let me say thank you to some folks who make all this possible. Lenny Bo's Seafood, Wings, and More in Lineville, Alabama, 256-396-5227. We got Southern Union State Community College, Wadley, Opelika, and Valley. Thanks to Joey Knight with Anchor Roofing at 706-326-2438. Cody Yarborough at Southeast Soft Wash, 334-863-0084. Mr. Mark Mitchell at Bama Diesel Repair up in Woodland, Alabama. Joey Knight's got auction 431 South. I understand their online auction is just really going well. You can go to their Facebook page to see when their next auction is going to be. Or you can give him a call at 256-252-8932. Also, welcome to a brand new supporter of Dr. Don's weather page, Neil Johnson with Superior Heating and Air Conditioning. 334-646-0331. Superior service for superior customers. And I know these folks, and I can tell you they stand behind what they do. And we are, believe it or not, about to fall off into some summertime with no precipitation. It's going to be hot and humid. So you got to make sure that your air conditioner is working properly. So give old Neil a call. Tell him Dr. Don sent you. Also, thanks to Remax Lakefront, Rick and Becky Rainwater, 256-610-1390 for supporting Dr. Don's weather page. Miss Judy Aubrey, been with us for quite some time. We certainly do appreciate Miss Judy. At Shepherd's Fine Jewelry and Gifts in downtown Roanoke, 334-863-2812. Mr. Brandon Brown. Brandon was our very first supporter way back in the day. At Brandon Brown, BR Construction, 334-744-1507. Mr. Jimmy Stevens at Jimmy Stevens Construction. We appreciate him at 256-610-1364. And another new sponsor, Jamie Dukas, Jamie W. Dukas Alpha Insurance on Facebook, or give him a call at 256-452-5131. You know, insurance companies are doing some pretty creative things right now since we're in this COVID-19 business, so might be time to shop around. So there we go, back to the Southern Union State Community College Doppler weather radar. And you can see that that line of storms now stretching from about Hogansville back over to Rock Mills, near Roanoke, back over to Wadley, and then down into southeastern Clay, northwestern Tallapoosa, and then across central Coosa, all the way back down to Clanton and Chilton County, and down to Selma, and then all the way back into Mississippi. Clay County's good. I mean, right now this is not severe. Torrential rainfall, yes. Some lightning, yes. Maybe a little small pea-size hail down here in portions of Coosa County right now. And back over in Clanton, Chilton County. Maybe some gusty winds, but it's not severe. So I think for the most part, well, Talladega County's already in the clear. Now we got a few small showers popping up back off to the west, and we'll have to kind of see what happens later on tonight, but I really think this is going to be probably the last hurrah. Other than we could have a rogue storm pop up before the actual cold front gets in here around midnight tonight. But we're about to lose the sun. What little bit of heating we had this afternoon is about to be gone, so I think we may be about to be in the clear once we get this line out of East Alabama. But you can't tell the folks in Rock Mills that right now because it is coming a gully washer. Y'all know what a gully washer is? It's coming one right there in Rock Mills, down to about Bacon level. Just moderate rain down in Roanoke. High Pines got some gully washing going on. Dickert, up there around Broughton Ridge. Malone, just south of Malone. Up there just north of Wadley out there in Nightville. Got a gully washer going on. And it continues on over into southeast Clay County, across the northwestern part of Tallapoosa County, just north of New Site. Goodwater, gully washer. Maybe a little hail out there on 280. And you get down here around Kelly's Crossroads, that's probably some pea-sized hail. And then back over here in Clanton on I-65 right there at the Big Peach. Got some very heavy rainfall back over around the Verbena exit, and some big stuff down there. But it's not severe. We lost all severe thunderstorm warnings, though we remain under a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock Central this evening. And what we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on now is this stuff back over here that is kind of off by itself. It doesn't have anything to compete with. So we'll see if that forms into anything. All right, so Kay's telling us that my interpretation of what the radar is telling me is correct. Just heavy rain, but very little wind. Some lightning, but not bad. Okay, Caleb, I'm not going to repeat that, but you're absolutely correct. We call that a Tango Foxtrot, is what we call that. Hey, we got a Bacon Level viewer there. Half of the population of Bacon Level is watching Dr. Don this afternoon. The other half is Jimmy Johnson. Hey, nice to have you with us, Mike. Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate you guys. I mean, y'all have just been incredible. The support that you give me. You know, I know you appreciate what I do, but, you know, this is a win-win situation for you guys and for me as well. And I appreciate your support more than you'll ever know. You know, you spend 22 years with a family, and it sure is nice to be able to be back with you guys. Modern technology has allowed us to be able to do that. Rocky Mills. So, Heather, we still have areas of Tallapoosa County without power from Sunday. I know I saw something yesterday. There were several that didn't have power. Yes, Hurtsboro is on my map. The way this works, you have to zoom down to a certain level before the towns pop up. And this is a brand new piece of software that I'm still, it's amazing at what it will do. And I'm still learning it. I think Hurtsboro's on here. I'm pretty sure I saw Hurtsboro. If not, I'll put it on here. Well, it didn't pop up. And I may have it adjusted in such that it didn't. So I'll fix that, though. I'll get Hurtsboro. There it is. I knew it was on here. There is Hurtsboro. You guys had a really bad tornado several years ago. Hurtsboro, right? Wasn't quite far enough south. Let's look down in South Alabama right quick. We got a pretty nasty thunderstorm down here between Brantley and Troy, showing a little rotation on it. But again, folks, and a lot of folks were asking me last week what these little circles mean on the radar. because this software is really impressive as to what it will do and what it will show you. And that is a mesoscale detection. And all that's doing is telling me that the storm is rotating. That doesn't mean there's a tornado in it. All thunderstorms, by definition, rotate. So it's just telling me at what level it's rotating in the atmosphere and how strong the rotation is. And if the algorithm, if the algorithm that the software uses thinks that there is a possible tornado in a storm, then it will give us a tornado signature or a tornado marker. So that's not what that is. That's just telling us that there's a little rotation. There's some slight rotation up there. You see the green marker, and I know maybe it's kind of hard to see if you're watching it on your phone, but see, that's the cool part about going to YouTube, is you can watch it on your smart TV. That's pretty cool. And you can see the details a whole lot better on the radar. So if you're at home, you can go to YouTube and just search for Don Strength, and you'll find the channel. I'm going to get it fixed where you can search for Dr. Don. I'm also going to get things fixed so that when I go live, it'll give you the links to all the different platforms that we're streaming on, so that you can do the one you want to do. And eventually, because I know everybody doesn't have Facebook, and somebody asked me the other day if I would send it to YouTube, so we've made that happen. So the next thing we're going to do is also put it up on our website. So then you'll be able to watch it on Facebook, on our website, on YouTube. I've also got it on Periscope. For those of you who subscribe to Periscope, that's just another streaming platform. You can go to Periscope and search for Don Strength. You'll find it also. So there are several different ways we're going to send it out and make it easy for everybody to watch. We got some tornado activity down here in Florida. Let me change radars. Show this to you. I've noticed something that the Weather Service has started doing just in the last couple of events. They're issuing severe thunderstorm warnings surrounding the tornado warnings, especially when it's involved with a line. And that's pretty smart, because what this is telling you is that overall we've got severe weather all the way down this line, but we have an embedded tornado where you see the red polygon. All right, so this is a tornado warning just north of Tallahassee. This is going toward Monticello. That's Monticello in Florida. And then we have another one down here, the Big Bend area of Florida. Just to the north of northeast of Apalachicola. But look at South Georgia. I mean, they're just getting hammered with rain. I mean, there are going to be some flooding problems down there, on top of the fact that they had a long track tornado come through earlier this afternoon. Moved through just to the west of Adele, crossed over 75, just right there at Adele. Matter of fact, it went right over the town, and then continued on off to the east and went right through Waycross, and then ended up over here around Darien. I spent about a week over there back during Hurricane Dorian. A beautiful little area right there. Anyway, the tornado tracked right there near Darien, and then went off the Atlantic coast near Sapelo Island. Matter of fact, it went right over Sapelo. And I have heard of some pretty widespread damage down there, most of it being trees on power lines and some homes. Have not heard of any injuries or any fatalities, thank goodness. Let me go to the national. Man, that's good coffee. Jennifer, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's good stuff right there. So, yeah, I'm hooked on it now. So back up in East Alabama, and you see that line maybe lifting a little bit north now. So you folks up there in Wedowee, you may get a little bit of this also. And I told you earlier, I felt like it had a little bit of a more of a northern component to it than just due east. So they're around Crystal Lake, on up to about Needham's Hill. Got some heavy rain going on, and all that's moving off to the east, northeast, pretty slow, about 35 miles per hour. That's pretty funny, Tyler. He didn't want you floating away. I got you. Again, we're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock tonight, all of East Alabama. Well, let me turn it back on. I'll just show you the counties. It's not everybody. It's got Randolph, Clay, Talladega, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, Elmore, and then it goes over to Chilton, Auga, gets down into Lowndes and Dallas, and then back into Mississippi. So it does not cover Cleburne or Calhoun or Cherokee. And obviously nobody back up in North Alabama. It does not cover any of our West Georgia counties. We'll see if they extend it further to the east as time goes on. Based on what I'm seeing right now, I don't expect that they will do that. And that could change. All right, so Cassandra is reporting some serious rain in the almond community. Yep. I concur with Cassandra. Got to add almond to it. All I've got in there right now is Malone. This area right here, that is some show enough serious rain right there. Tango Foxtrot going on. And we got the same thing just north of Roanoke too, up there around Crystal Lake, back across Broughton Ridge. That's going all the way back over to the Almond Malone area. back over into extreme southeast Clay County, down to about Goldville, New Site, Hackneyville, just south of Millerville, just to the east of Brownsville. Goodwater's got some very heavy rainfall, so does Kellyton. The north and western side of Alexander City's got some very heavy rainfall. Raining heavily now out there on 280 at Hanover, north of Kelly's Crossroads, and then over into Chilton County, over there where the Peach Park is, it is pouring on I-65 at the Clanton exit. But the good thing is, you'll notice we don't have any type of severe markers going on at all. We don't have any mesoscales. We don't have any hail markers. We don't have any indication of wind. We do not have any warnings. Good old thunderstorm right now with a very intense rain and an occasional lightning strike. You can tell the difference. Look down here in South Georgia. Even though they've had a lot of rain down there today, and even though this atmosphere has been raked over pretty good with several severe storms and at least one long-track tornado, they're south of the warm front that I was talking to you about last night. So their air down there is a lot more tropical and a lot more conducive for supporting severe weather. Look at all the mesoscales down there. They're weak, but there's several of them. We also got a hail marker down there. So there's no doubt that the setup is much better across South Georgia right now for severe weather. And then we still have a couple of tornado warnings down there in Florida as well. Deborah says she's tired of these storms. Miss Deborah, we hadn't had a whole lot in the last couple of 2-3 years, so Mother Nature's making up for it all in one season, I think. We got another couple of weeks to go, and we'll be out of severe weather season. We can make it to mid-May. We can have severe weather after that, but for the most part, normally by mid-May, the severe season is pretty much done. And then we just have heat of the day, summertime type thunderstorms, which can occasionally cause problems. But you normally don't see a widespread outbreak from summertime storms. It can happen, but it's just that is a little bit out of the ordinary. Folks, we hit almost 100,000 views last weekend. And that number does change because people click on it and watch it after the fact. And so, yeah, I was within 4 hours of our last broadcast last weekend, last Sunday, we had hit right at 75,000. And since then, we've had over 25 or close to 25,000 watched since then. Just checking it out, I guess. But that is just incredible. We hit like 13 or 14,000 last April during the Wedowee tornado. And I thought that was crazy. And we've almost hit 100,000 views on Sunday's severe weather coverage. And the only reason that's happening is because you're sharing it with your friends, and you're asking your friends to share it with their friends, and their friends to share it with their friends. And that's what's making this happen, and we appreciate it. Keep doing that, because that's exactly what we need to do. It gets the word out when there's severe weather. All right, so Mickey wants me to look at Abbeville, Alabama, just north of the great state of Dothan. Look at that, Abbeville. See, it's right there on the map. Oh, there was a great restaurant in Abbeville. I lived in Dothan several times, Enterprise and Dothan. We used to go to I'm sorry, that was a restaurant in Headland, I think. But there's Abbeville. Nothing going on right now, just lots of light rain. And yeah, that's great, folks. If you have a particular place you want me to look at, I can look at any place in the country. Or in the world. I can go anywhere. So if you have a particular spot where maybe you have family living or friends or a particular area of the country that you're interested in knowing what the weather looks like, all you got to do is ask me on the board, and I'll be very happy to go there. Cassandra says, tornado in Panama City Beach. Said Callie was a little bit nervous, but fine. Mama, however, was very nervous. Prayers for victims of those storms. Yeah, we were looking at that just a few moments ago. It's well east of Panama City now. Over here to the east of Apalachicola. Actually, that one up there around Tallahassee was probably the parent storm that brought that storm across Panama City. But I was watching it when it was coming into PC. And here comes yet another line of storms across South Georgia. The good thing is we don't have any tornado warnings in Georgia right now. We got to watch this stuff just north of Tallahassee. That could end up over there in South Georgia, south of Valdosta. And then end up over here just north of Jacksonville, over near St. Mary's. Deborah, nothing going on for Roanoke. You got some heavy rain, but nothing severe right now. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock. So that's why we're kind of watching what's going on. And these storms were severe about an hour and 15 minutes ago when they were west of I-65. But since then, they have slowly weakened. And so the leading edge of that line of storms now coming into Wadley and Roanoke, just south of Wedowee. And moving very slow, so you've got tons of rain. That rain's not going to go anywhere very quickly. But this may end up being more of a flash flooding issue for you than anything else. Right now, Roanoke is just fine. Let's see here. Same thing for Phoenix City. You've got a little storm there just south of Columbus, but it's not severe. All of the thunderstorms that are showing signs of possibly being severe are well to the east of Phoenix City, and they're moving on off to the east. But Phoenix City, you've got this line that will eventually come through there. I think it's going to be a little bit before you see it, because the portion of this line that will come through Phoenix City is still west of Montgomery, about to move into Prattville. So you're probably looking at least an hour, probably an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours before that line gets to you. So there is time for this to strengthen again if it's going to. So you folks over here in Columbus, Phoenix City, on up into Beauregard, even over to Hurtsboro, up to Auburn, Notasoga, Tallahassee. Got to watch this as it moves on off to the east. Kellyton, Alabama. Dadeville. Raining and thunder and lightning at the Rock Stand. Wedowee, it's just south of you, Dan. It may make it up into Wedowee. It's going to be a very close call. But even if this line doesn't make it up into Wedowee, look back over there by Birmingham. You got some scattered thunderstorms that are still yet to come through. So I suspect they're going to hold on to the severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock, just to be on the safe side, even though we don't have anything severe out there right now. Heavy rain in Gibsonville. You're welcome, Sherry. Little thunder in Springfield. Good rain and just thundered pretty loud in Haywood. Hope it didn't wake the baby up. Yeah, we got good water in the house, too. Thank you, Belinda. And if you're a newbie to Dr. Don's weather page, let me know. If this is your first time watching us, let me know. I'd just like to know where you are. I like to know where everybody's at. I like to know where you're watching from, what your interest is, so that I can make sure that I give you what you're here for. That's the whole purpose of this. You know, if we can keep folks advised and informed on severe weather, then you have nothing to worry about, because you can survive it just fine. As long as you know where it's at, where it's going, and what to expect, and as long as you have a plan, there's no reason to get upset or worried about severe weather. I know y'all get tired of hearing me say this, but that old thunder and lightning has been going on now since it all started, and it's going to be going on when the last person shuts the door and cuts the lights off. That's just the way it is. And but it's survivable. Severe weather is survivable if you're informed and aware of what's going on. Lafayette, Wedowee, Woodland, Napomaha. I'm assuming that's halfway between Napoleon and Omaha. See, I figured that out, James. Clarksville. There used to be a fine eating place in Clarksville out there by the little pond. It was a catfish cabin, or it wasn't cat. What was it? What was the name of the catfish place in Clarksville? It burned. I done eat many pieces of catfish in that place. Hey, Kaylin. Kaylin's a newbie. Thank you, Kaylin. Thank you for joining us on Dr. Don's weather page. Jackson's Gap. Yeah, you probably did hear some thunder, Luke, in Roanoke. I'm having trouble with my software this afternoon with the lightning. Normally I could show you where it's lightning, but Catfish Camp, that was it. That was it. What I would give. That was it. Hey, look, get you a big old slice of onion and that old fried catfish. I'm going to have to find me some catfish now. Yeah, Lashley's Catfish Camp. That was it. Broughton Ridge. No, Reds is over in Clay County, but now it's good eating too. Been there many a time. This was down in Clarksville. It was the Catfish Camp. It was. Okay, so Joanne says thanks for the PCB alert. Says her sister lives there and was surprised and glad I reached out. There you go. That is what this is all about. You know, if getting this information out there saves one life, just one, then it will have been well worth every bit of it. And that's just a good thing to do, Joanne. When you hear us talking about severe weather or a different area, you know somebody that lives there, call them. If it's 2 a.m. in the morning, call them, wake them up. Tell them to head for a safe place. A Banda Cafe. You know, I'm going to have to try that out, Susan, because the last time we went home went up there around Nightville, just north of Watley, we came through Lafayette and came right through Banda, and I saw the sign. So, yeah, we're going to have to time our next trip so that we come by when it's open and check it out. Asking about Lineville and Wedowee. Right now, Lineville is fine. There are a few scattered broken showers back off to the west that may come through Lineville a little later on, but it won't. Right now, it's nothing significant. I know, Jennifer. I want some catfish too. And you know, it's that catfish is not easy to find anymore. I'm talking about a grocery store. I mean, unless you want to mortgage the house to buy it. And catfish ponds, they're not, at least up here in this part of the country, all the ponds that you can go fish in up here, catch and release. You can't keep anything. I just like to go to a good catfish pond and get me old mess and come home and clean them and fry them. Blue and white. Okay, Danny, I'll check that out too. Yeah, Judy, I know. I've got HughesNet. Yeah, I went there. I've got HughesNet as a backup in case all else fails during our live broadcast. At least I can put all of my tools that I use to bring you this over on HughesNet, and then I use my 4G to actually broadcast on, hoping that helps my situation. But that's the problem with any type of satellite service, whether it's television or internet. You're going to get rain fade because the satellite dish is 22,000 miles away, and the rain passes between your dish and that satellite. So, coming a flood in Alexander City. That's a Tango Foxtrot. We have a new term for it. That's a Tango Foxtrot there, Sharon. Thank you, Danny Nelson. Danny's a newbie. Thank you for joining us, Danny. We hope that you come back every time you know there's a chance for severe weather. We do a daily weather forecast called the Primetime Forecast, and also the Lake Wedowee weather forecast. I post it every evening for the next day. And so you can check our weather forecast out every day and know whether or not we're going to have severe weather in the near future. And then go to Dr. Don's weather page and like it, though. Okay, that's very important. That way you get notified when I go live. But even better than that, go over to YouTube and search for Don Strength and subscribe to my new YouTube channel. That way you'll get a push notification when I go live. That's even better than Facebook. Facebook, their algorithm's a little crazy sometimes, and so you don't always get the notifications, but YouTube sends you a push notification, so you're guaranteed to get it if you'll go over to YouTube and just search for Don Strength and then like my YouTube channel. And that way you'll get notified when we go live. Clay County, the storms, except for the extreme southeast corner of Clay, the storms are done. However, we are beginning to see, just in the last 15 or 20 minutes, another line of storms kind of forming back off to the west. So we're going to have to keep an eye on those as well. We won't be completely out of the woods until after the cold front comes through, which will be around midnight tonight. So to answer your question, Kevin, yes, they're over for now, but there could be more. Hey, Danny. Yeah, man. I remember the day the Coca-Cola plant burned. It was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve, 1999, to be exact. Remember it well. I was the EMA director for Randolph County at the time. My office was in the basement of the City Hall in Roanoke. And we were activated, our EOC was activated because of Y2K. Now, you young'uns don't know what that means. But there was this mass hysteria and fear that when the calendar rolled from 1999 to the year 2000, that all computers across the world were going to crash. And it was going to send us off into some dark blue nasty hole somewhere, and the whole world was going to implode. So all emergency management agencies across the state of Alabama and probably across the entire country were activated for Y2K. And I remember when Roanoke dropped those tones for that fire because I was just right down the street. And I jumped in my vehicle and took off because I was a member of the fire department too, and got up there, and that joker was burning just that quick. That was a bad fire. A 55-gallon drum of something went off, and the lid came out of the roof of that building, and I don't think we ever found it. It was, last time we saw it, it was about 10,000 feet over the mill village, headed north. And we had another structure fire that same night. It started from fireworks because it was New Year's Eve. That was a long day. Roosterville. See what Roosterville looks like. Roosterville looks just fine right now. Let's see if Roosterville will pop. There it is. Told you. All you got is just a little light rain right this moment. And it looks like this line's going to stay maybe south of you, Roosterville. Maybe. Yeah, it's going to be close. But again, even if it does get up in there, it's not severe right now. And then we'll just have to see what happens back here with these storms coming through Birmingham. Right now, they're not severe either. We'll just have to kind of watch the trend over the next hour or so. The system is actually headed to the east, a little bit north of due east. The reason that I don't loop the radar very often is because that wreaks havoc on the bandwidth coming and going. So I typically don't do that very often, but right now I've got some pretty good numbers going on, so we can loop it for you, and you can kind of see, I'd call it northeast. And notice, too, for those of you that are just joining us and wondering why in the world we're here, when the loop starts, look at it back over there by Meridian. Look how strong it was. And then as it come across Alabama, it just kind of lost most of its intensity, except look at this last loop right here. Let's go to Tallapoosa County. Look at there. We're beginning to get a little bit of indication that we may have some re-strengthening going on right there. All right, the National Weather Service has just canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Autauga, Chambers, Chilton, Clay, Coosa, Dallas, Elmore, Lee, Lowndes, Randolph, and Tallapoosa. There you go, folks. All right, so you're no longer under a severe thunderstorm watch. So the folks who get paid the big bucks to do this for a living do not think that we're going to see any severe weather. I'll read those counties again. National Weather Service office in Birmingham has canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Autauga, Chambers, Chilton, Clay, Coosa, Dallas, Elmore, Lee, Lowndes, Randolph, and Tallapoosa. So this line is going to be strong when it comes through, but it's well below severe limits. And the Weather Service, knowing the atmospheric conditions, they do not believe that this line of storms is going to go severe. Now, sometimes when they cancel a watch like that, that means that they don't think there's going to be widespread severe weather. But there still could be a rogue severe thunderstorm, and there still could be a warning issued, even without a watch. So don't completely let your guard down. But right now, I think we're looking pretty good. Now, when this comes through, you're going to get some crazy rainfall. I mean, look, it's been raining out there on Highway 22 between Roanoke and Wadley, and in Wadley now for at least the last hour. And that's some heavy rainfall. Crystal Lake, up there at Broughton Ridge. Most of these areas where you see rain right now, it's been raining for a minute. So I most certainly have got some ponding out there on 22 and up 77 and down 77 too, down there to just north of Pennon. Not a good ride at all. Highway 22 all the way to Alexander City is not a good ride. It's raining the entire way. So you still got that to come through, and then we're going to watch this stuff back here behind it because it is showing a few indications that it may be growing a little bit, but the Weather Service just doesn't think they're going to get above severe limits. So that's why they let that severe thunderstorm watch expire. Let's see here. Bluff Springs, Gibsonville area. Still hearing thunder and seeing some lightning. hoping that they don't lose power. I hope you don't lose power too. Yeah, Wedowee, you've got that's that upper end of that line just scooted right south of Wedowee. So all you've got now, Wedowee, is just some light rain. This line is moving off to the east-northeast, so it's past you now. So all clear for Wedowee, except you could have a thunderstorm a little later on, but I don't think it'll be severe. Roanoke, you still got a minute to go. Woodland, you're in the clear. Wedowee's in the clear. Lake Wedowee's in the clear. Ashland, Lineville are both in the clear. Talladega, Silicaga's in the clear. For now, again, back over there to the west, we have a few thunderstorms that are developing, and they'll rotate through after a while. Heavy rain in Daviston. Folks, we got to get this COVID-19 mess done. We got to play football. Yeah, I'm just telling you. Got to be done. All right, I'm trying to find Butchton, Alabama. That's a new one on me. I know it's in Tallapoosa County. And when I pull it up on Google, it doesn't even show, it shows that it's there, but it doesn't put a marker on the map. So somebody tell me what it's close next to. It's showing it's somewhere over there north of Jackson Gap. I'm not sure exactly where. And I spent 22 years in that area, and that one got me. Let me make a note. Yeah, Scotty, I miss old West too. They don't come much better than West, and he built something that thankfully I'm now becoming involved in, and I just wish he was around so I could shake his hand and thank him again. That hit us all pretty hard. Yeah, I know, right, Heather? I did have to get out a little bit last week and do some damage assessment, and you know, it was the hardest thing was not shaking hands, and it's just tough. I mean, when you do it your entire life, and that's just the way we are in the South. I love me some neck hugs. Oh my goodness, I love me some neck hugs, and I can't do any of that. Driving me crazy. Raining in Rock Mills. Between New Site and Dadeville near Daviston. Okay. Yeah, you got a line coming at you. The leading edge of it is just now crossing over 22. And then you got you may have a little small hail out there too that's going to move right over the Butchton area. It's not large. It's probably pea size, or maybe what we call in the wintertime graffle, just real small stuff. Heavy rain and abandon. Just making sure it's not on here, but I don't think it is. It will be before we meet again, though. I'm making a note. If anybody else has got a small community or a crossroads or a landmark of any kind, it can be anything. Just send me a message or post it on here. I might miss it if you post it on here. Best idea is to send me a message on Facebook. Or you can email me. My email address is easy. It's drdonwx@gmail.com. That's drdonwx@gmail.com. All right, Matthew, send me the lat long on it. Send me the coordinates on it. And I'll certainly put it in there. Close to Frog Eye. I didn't know anything was close to Frog Eye. See, we don't put Frog Eye on the map. I guarantee you, last Sunday, we had 75,000 plus viewers going on, and I mentioned the word Frog Eye. That was the largest congregation that's ever heard Frog Eye at one time, ever. And you guys made that happen. Thank you. Yeah, they're going to have to vote Miss Mary as the mayor. They're going to have to form them a government down there because we done put them on the map. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate you. Broughton Ridge near Roanoke. I know where Broughton Ridge is at. Know all about some Broughton Ridge. Look at there. Broughton Ridge. Right there. And you're right on the edge of the heavy rain. Boy, look at this stuff down here between Abanda and Concord. I mean, that is heavy rain right there. Whoops. Told you I'm still getting used to this. But Broughton Ridge, the system's moving off to the east, northeast, so you're just about to go back into some moderate rain. Again, the heavy stuff's over here just west of New Site. There may actually be a little hail in that. Windy in Roanoke. Manook, Alabama. Am I saying that right? I have not heard of Manook, Alabama. Where is Manook? Hey. Wait a minute. Hey, Siri. Where is Manook, Alabama? She's probably going to tell me I'm crazy.
I'm on it.
Well, she's on it.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with connection. Please try again in a moment.
You know you live in the sticks when Siri tells you she's having trouble with the connection. Wow. I just bet you it is pouring rain over my house right now. Go look and see. Let's go look and see. Oh, I can see it from here. Well, actually, it's not. It's north of me. So, for those of you who are wondering, you see those two little bitty mountains right there? Wait, hang on. Take you on down there, ain't it? Oh, not like that, we're not. All right. That's about as close as we can get. Now, I live not on the tip top of the mountain. I live about halfway down the side of this mountain right there. Now, there's all kind of cell phone coverage up here on top of this mountain, you see. That's about 1,200 foot from my back door, right on top of this mountain. And so, what's happening here, originally, I was hitting a tower way over here, back toward Dahlonega. It was working fine. Then T-Mobile decides they're going to turn a tower on my mountain. Hallelujah. Problem solved. They turn Walker Mountain on, and the signal now is shooting directly over my house and not hitting a thing I own. So I'm in the process of putting up a tower, which is probably going to have to be about 10 miles tall to get up into the coverage. Yeah, I mean, we got 5G on this mountain up here, or will have. They don't have it turned on yet. But it's shooting right over my house. I can't get the signal off of this mountain. So now I'm hitting a tower way over here toward Cleveland. And I'm having to shoot through this mountain up here to get to it. So that's why I'm having some internet problems. It's been going on since November. Oh, Mr. Strength, we're upgrading the system. That was in November. Has not improved since. AT&T, Verizon, every one of them, same way. You see, Gainesville, Georgia is down here to the south. So all the cell phone carriers have got towers up here on this mountain because this is the first mountain north of Gainesville. All the antennas are pointed in this direction to serve all these people down here in Gainesville. So I'm on the back side of the antenna to start with, and then it shoots right over my house. I probably have the worst cell phone coverage of any one single resident in North Georgia. And you can forget about the local telephone company. Their internet's worse than the cell phone carriers. And they are a huge chain. And it's just, as a matter of fact, I called them back to see if they would come hook it back up. I disconnected them about 2.5 years ago because I was paying for something I was not getting. Nowhere even close to it. But to have a backup, I called them to see if I could get them to come back out and hook it back up just to have a backup, and they won't even come back. They said, sorry, we're done with you. We ain't coming back. I'm not even going to tell you about the conversation I had with him. It did not go well. But anyway, severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled for East Alabama. We still have some very heavy rainfall in East Randolph County down to about Roanoke, back over to Wadley, and then into north central and west central Tallapoosa County, down New Site, down to Alexander City, stretching back to near Wetumpka, and Wetumpka Wetumpka got a ton of rain last Sunday. They're fixing to get some more. That's why I couldn't get Siri to work, because every iPhone just went to Siri. Absolutely. Jemison and Calera, and see, I ought to know that too. That's where my family's from. Not Manuka, if that's how you say it. They're from the Enterprise community in Chilton County. That's where the strength side of the family is from. That's where I come from originally. But I've never heard of that. Between Jemison and Calera. I certainly know where Jemison and Calera is at. There's Jemison right there. I will have to see if I can find it. And there's Calera up there. See, so that's up there where the University of Montevallo's at, and you're getting up there close to the Shelby County Airport, which is where the National Weather Service office is. So I'll see if I can find it and get it on the map for you. I just want to make sure it's not on here. I know it's not, but. All right, well, that's cool. Let me make a note. I just saw Thorsby on there, and the other night somebody thought I was messing up the word Thursday when I was saying Thorsby. That was funny. Yeah, you're right, Tawana. It's the frustrating thing about it is, and this does not apply to all internet service providers. This is not a blanket statement that I'm about to make. Understand that. But to some of them, billions of dollars have been released from the federal government to fix the rural America internet problem, because everybody deserves equal access to. I mean, if this is what this country is going to operate off of, then we all ought to have equal access to it. I understand supply and demand. I understand business rules. I understand a company has to make money. We owned a retail business for several years. And I've had several businesses in my time. I understand how all that works. So you make money off some folks and some folks you don't. It's called cost of business. So, my conversation with this guy in Dubai the other night really got sideways, because he told me, "You not understand how it work." I said, "Yes, I do." He said, No, you not understand." I said, "Don't push me. I do understand." I understand that your company's received billions of dollars and your executives are sitting on an island somewhere drinking a fruity drink, and I'm sitting up here on the side of a mountain in North Georgia with no internet. I understand completely. "Oh, so you know a little bit about what's going on?" "Yes, sir, I do." "We can't help you because you disconnected with us 2.5 years ago. You don't even exist as far as we're concerned." I said, "Dude, the power line still goes right by my house and goes on up the mountain." That didn't get me anywhere, though. Thorsby. Hello, Thorsby. Jemison, Calera. All right, Lynn, I appreciate you, brother. I really do, but you're getting a little bit outside of our coverage area. That certainly would not be a bad idea for East Alabama and West Georgia, maybe even South Georgia if it's really severe. But Great Falls is a little bit outside our coverage area. And so is Wichita. Seal, Alabama. I know exactly where Seal's at. It's just frustrating, man. You know what, Seal may not be on here. I'll check that. If it's not, I will put it on here. Take it a note. Yeah, I got a half a bar of Verizon on my front porch. Hello, LaGrange. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate those kind words. Alera. Scotty, if you're asking me or telling me, I'm not really sure. The Lightning portion of our software is a totally different module. And for whatever reason, it went out this morning, and I have contacted tech support, and so far they hadn't got my lightning detector turned back on. So that's why I'm not showing any lightning. I think you are getting some strikes every now and then, though, simply because of the heavy rainfall. Yeah, probably the same guy I talked to, Tawana. Okay. All right. Well, good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you have some lightning around. That's just not... that's somebody else I'm about to have a conversation with, because that should have been fixed. It's a subscription issue, and it's on their end, not mine. All right, folks. Well, we're going to wrap things up. I just wanted to kind of hang around till this got out of Randolph County, but it's it's hanging with you. Looks like the heaviest part of it now is just south of Roanoke. Maybe a little hail there too. There. Between Roanoke and 5 Points, up there around Stroud. Little tiny area right there that may have some small hail. Then this would not be big enough to damage a vehicle, I don't think. The rain's letting up a little bit up there in Roanoke and Rock Mills and Wadley. Things look a little better over there around New Site as well. And zooming back out, we still have some storms back over here to the west that are indicating a hail core, and they're kind of out there by themselves. So we're going to keep an eye on this as we go throughout the rest of the evening. And, of course, if need be, we'll come right back and continue with our coverage of severe weather. Zoom all the way out and see the big picture of the entire southeast and most of the country. What we're looking at right there. Moby in the morning. Moby is still around. Moby was in Columbus Was it South 106? Is that right? I think. And so Moby now is in Athens, Georgia, I think. I hear him occasionally, and I take that as a compliment, so thank you. All right, folks, so that's going to wrap it up for this broadcast. Yes, the severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled. We do still have a few storms around, and the Weather Service doesn't really think that it's going to get severe, but we can't, until they're completely gone, you never know. So stay weather aware for the rest of the afternoon and evening. I will post on Facebook if necessary, and if we were to get a rogue severe storm, I'll be right back with more coverage on Dr. Don's weather page.